In this video, I'd like to show you how to find the expression for the nth term in an arithmetic sequence. Now, an arithmetic sequence is a pattern where the same value is being added or subtracted. So in our first example, we have the sequence 4, 7, 10, and 13. Now the numbers in a sequence are called terms. So that's what I'm going to label this row. And you can instead use the letter T for short. Now, since 4 is the first term in the sequence, let's write the number 1 above it. 7 is the second term, so let's write 2 above it. 10 is the third term, and 13 is the fourth term. Now, let's label this row as number, since it shows the number of each term. And let's use the letter N for short. So again, T stands for term, and N stands for number. Now, we know the first term is 4, the second term is 7, the third term is 10, and the fourth term is 13. But what if I were to ask you what the 57th term is? Well, in just a couple steps, we can create an expression to calculate the value of any term of this sequence. So let's build the expression. Now, the first step is to find the common difference in the pattern, which means we need to find the amount of change between the terms. Now, you'll notice in this sequence that the terms are increasing by 3 each time. And this means that the common difference in this sequence is 3. Now, the second step is to identify the variable term, and we've already determined that the common difference is 3 and that the variable n stands for number. So let's take the number 3 and place the variable n next to it. So the difference of 3 next to n, which means 3 multiplied by n, is the variable term. So now that we've identified the variable term, the third step is to identify the numerical term, which is the term before the first term in the sequence. Now, we know that 4 is the first term in the sequence, but what term would come before the first term? Well, remember, the terms in this sequence are increasing by 3, so to calculate the term before the first term, we need to subtract 3 from the first term. So that is 4 minus 3, which equals 1. So the numerical term is positive 1. So now, by taking the variable term, 3n, and placing it next to the numerical term, plus 1, we've just created the expression for the nth term of this arithmetic sequence. And this means that we can use this expression to calculate what the 57th term will be. Now, to do that, we need to replace the variable n in the expression with the number 57. And this means that we need to multiply 3 by 57. And 3 multiplied by 57 equals 171. And 171 plus 1 equals 172. So the 57th term in this sequence is 172. Okay, let's try one more example. In this example, we have the sequence 19, 13, 7, and 1. And we want to know what the 35th term will be this time. Now remember, the first step is to find the common difference in the pattern, which is the amount of change between the terms. Now in this sequence, you'll notice that the terms are decreasing, and they're decreasing by 6 each time. And this means the common difference in this sequence is minus 6, or negative 6. The second step is to identify the variable term, which is the difference multiplied by n. And we've already determined that the common difference is negative 6. So let's take negative 6 and place the variable n next to it. So now that we've identified the variable term, the third step, we need to identify the numeric term, which again, this is the term before the first term in the sequence. Now, we know that 19 is the first term in the sequence, but what term would come before the first term? Well, remember, the terms in this sequence are decreasing by 6. So to calculate the term before the first term, we need to add 6 to the first term. So that is 19 plus 6, which equals 25. So the numerical term is positive 25. So now, by taking the variable term, negative 6, and placing it next to the numerical term, plus 25, we have just created the expression for the nth term of this arithmetic sequence, which means we can use this expression to calculate what the 35th term will be. And to do this, we need to replace the variable n in the expression with the number 35, which means negative 6 multiplied by 35. And negative 6 multiplied by 35 equals negative 210. And negative 210 plus 25 equals negative 185. So the 35th term of this sequence is negative 185. So this is how you find the expression for the nth term in an increasing and decreasing arithmetic sequence. Thank you for watching.